Welcome to week 7 of Intro to Sociology. Um, just briefly, I went through and read I got through all the essays. I was done grading up till this last week's not quiz questions, so I need to get through those. I read all of these and graded all of these stratification essays, and they were great for the most part. I don't think I really had a problem with anybody's. They were all great. They were exactly what I was looking for. Really great. From time to time, I feel like I'll get a student who has a bone to pick with um, cr- critically thinking, I guess, about sociology and the social sciences and like society and things like that, and they'll use their essays as a place to like pick that bone. And I am glad that none of you did. I really strongly discourage you for ever using your assignments as the place to have an argument with your professor. Because you're gonna end up with a bad grade on your assignment because you're probably not following directions. You can disagree and you can say why you disagree, and I don't think there was anything in that assignment that was objectionable. Again, I strongly discourage if you ever have that implication or inkling. I mean, um, to have that argument with your professors. Don't do it in your assignments. So, anyway, I look forward to reading these next not quiz questions. This week, we're moving on to the topic of race, and we have the other assignment for the class. And this one is, I don't know if you all had a chance to look at it yet. It was available as of last week. I want you to do something similar where you talk to your friends or your family members and you talk to them about race and what their thoughts on about race. Go over some of the stuff from the class about race being a social construction. It's very interesting. It is very interesting to me as a sociologist, as a child of immigrants, as a non white person. I always thought it was very interesting growing up, and I feel like Arabs have probably a similar. I feel like all different ethnicities have that moment where you realize that you're not part of their group and they're being white people, I guess, because they're the dominant group in society and everything. The sociological term I would say is hegemonic. It's like that's kind of the standard of everything of like whiteness and like white society and like white family life is like the standard. Everything else is like, if there's like a black TV show that's a black portrayal of family, like that's just not like family. It's like this is unique. And same thing with like Latinos and Asian families, and it's usually like this is a variation of the norm, and the norm is white folks. And I feel like for me it was, I think I was in about like fourth grade or so, and I grew up during the first Iraq War, and I got bullied a lot during that time. My family's not from Iraq, but generally, like I went to a predominantly white school system, and I went to Livonia Public Schools, and there was like two or three other Arab kids in my class. So many of you probably grew up, if you're Arab, you probably grew up during the 9/11 time, and you may have had that realization during 9/11. I know a lot of younger millennial and Gen Z people grew up during that time, and that was like their sort of awakening of during 9/11. I guess it would have been millennial, like the younger millennials, but or older, I guess. I don't know. I mean, 9/11 was definitely a moment for me, but I was born at the end of 1980. So for me, I was already kind of into adulthood. I was like 20 when 9/11 happened. So it was, not so much my early years. Anyway, I want you to go through the material for the class and talk to a family member or friends or two friends or whatever, if you don't feel comfortable having that conversation with your family, with some people in your family. Sorry if you hear my 3-year-old screaming in the background. And yeah, go through and answer some of these questions here. I think you'll have some interesting conversations with people, and I hope it's not too tense. I've been teaching this class for a while now, and typically everything I read from my students is pretty. Seems like they've had interesting conversations with their family. Like you may have not ever had these conversations before, so this would be a good spot to have it. And yeah, I look forward to reading whatever you all experience in it. Let me know if you have any questions as you're going along. I think you'll find this class material rather interesting too, and to see how we think of race in the social sciences again as more like a social construction. Like we're all part of the human race, and really what we're talking like there's a statistic in the I forget which I think it's the OpenText book that talks about human beings are 99.99% the same in terms of like DNA, and that very small difference is what gives us our difference in skin color and eye color and all that kind of stuff. And that's why you don't have like like doctors that exclusively work on black folks, or doctors that exclusively work on white folks, or doctors that exclusively work on Asian folks. There's just doctors, and there are some illnesses that are more prevalent in specific ethnic groups or races, as if you will, but they're not, um, they're not like impossible for me or for somebody else to get, like say sickle cell anemia. That's predominantly something in the African American community, or in the Africa from Africa, but predominantly in African American in the United States. So anyway, it's just something to think about, and I would, yeah, like I said, I really look forward to reading all of your essays as you're going through. So I'll stop it there, and let me know if you have any questions as you're going along. I will talk to you all soon. See you later. Bye.